My name is Rebecca, and today I want to share my story with the world. Thank you DRF TV for animating my story. I was sexually, mentally, emotionally and verbally abused by my father as far back as I can remember until I left home. He did many terrible things, some which are too distasteful for me to talk about publicly. But I want to share my testimony because so many people have been hurt, and they need to realize that someone has made it through their struggles so they can have hope. More than anything, I want you to know and really understand that anyone who has been abused can fully recover if they will give their life completely to Jesus Christ. I was only 7 years old when I lost my mother due to cancer. I then had to go and live with my father in the city of Kampala, as I had no siblings and no grandparents. My father had a house there and was living alone. At first, it felt quite good living with him because he gave me everything I needed and more. Things changed when he lost his job and started drinking too much alcohol daily. His behavior immediately changed. He started having a strange look in his eyes. Every time I would catch him staring at me, I found it so creepy. I assumed he was just feeling lonely. Often, I would go to visit our neighbor. She was so friendly and treated me like her own daughter. There was this time I went to her house and told her, I don't feel safe around my father anymore. The way he looks at me just scares me and it's like he's going to rape me. I remember her reaction after I said this. She just stared at me with confusion written all over her face and replied, "Don't you dare think of such. How could you think your father could do such a thing? He's such a good man." I was always afraid of my father. He was a controlling, mean and manipulative person for most of his life. He was unpredictable and unstable. Always drunk. The sexual abuse started when I was 8, and when he decided I was mature enough, he took things even further. I remember the first time he abused me. I was in my bed sleeping and I could feel that I was no longer alone in my room. I could feel somebody was getting on top of my bed. Just after opening my eyes, I saw my dad's face. He rushed to cover my mouth with his hand so that I couldn't scream. I immediately tried to fight him off. He overpowered me. He smacked me on my face several times, and the next thing I know I passed out. As I was lying unconscious on my bed, he carried on raping me. I remembered everything in the morning. I tried to get out of bed, but my whole body was aching. I noticed a lot of blood on my blanket. I couldn't help it. I just burst into tears. I walked out of my room and helplessly cried like a little baby. Later, I ran straight to our neighbor's house and talked to her, but she never believed, saying my father was a good man and could never do such. She didn't stop at that. She told my dad about it, asking him to take me to the hospital that I may be mentally ill. My father beat me ruthlessly that night and told me he would kill me if I ever told anyone else about it. After beating me like a dog, he again raped me. I was so profoundly ashamed because of this. I was ashamed of me, and I was ashamed of my father and what he did. I was also constantly afraid. There was no place I ever felt safe growing up. At school I pretended I had a normal life, but I felt lonely all the time and different from everyone else. I never felt like I fit in. And as long as I kept this secret, I couldn't get free from the pain of it. My father kept on abusing me until I was 17 and decided to run away from home. I stormed the streets and started living like street children. While there, I realized I was pregnant for my father. I told my new friends on the street. We went and stole money in the night to help me in carrying out an abortion. I hated my father. I hated men and anything that looked like them. You may be wondering, where was God in all of this? He was there. He didn't get me out of the situation when I was a child, but he did give me the strength to get through it. It's true my father abused me and didn't love and protect me the way he should have, and at times it seemed no one would ever help me and it would never end. At the age of 20, I was so tired, still living in the streets, fighting for food. By this time I was willingly sleeping with men to get something to eat. I had no feelings. I just wanted to die. I made a decision to end my life. But that's when God sent a good Samaritan who saved me by rushing me to the hospital. While there, the doctors confirmed I was pregnant again. I told them I wanted an abortion since I was already used to it. But the man who brought me to the hospital refused and promised to take care of me and the baby. He loved me and I was always waiting for him to abuse me like my father, which he never did. God had a plan for my life, and he has redeemed me. He has taken what Satan meant for harm and turned it into a blessing. He has taken away my shame and given me a double reward and recompense. God can heal and restore you. It may seem impossible, but God's truth has set me free from a life of pretense and lies and has restored my soul. I am living proof that nothing is too hard for God. And no matter what you've been through or how bad it hurts, there is hope. That's why I'm telling my story. You need to know how good God is, and that your struggle is worth it. If you will give your life to Christ and really trust God, you can be completely healed and restored so you can live the life Jesus died for you to have. Don't give up. My son is all grown now and a minister of God. I got married to a very caring and loving man who is always spoiling me silly, and we now have 3 beautiful children. God took away all the shame. My father passed on last year, but I'm grateful to God that I had already forgiven him. God gave me special grace. It wasn't easy. I wish I could narrate everything here. But maybe we will get a part 2. It doesn't matter what your story is. God can heal. He is a comforter. He takes away all the pain. Trust him with your pain. He is able. Please share this story and subscribe to this channel. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you all.